Hey, good morning, 10th grade. So today I'm going to walk you through the introduction and conclusion. And again, I have an outline for you to follow. And once I'm done explaining that, I want to make sure I also mention the distant learning grading process. And I have some some things to with just the writing process in general that I probably should have covered earlier. So you're going to click on this link and it's going to say Introduction, Conclusion, Person of Impact. And just like the other outlines I've done, it's color coded. So the introduction is shorter. It really has two key components. One is to do an attention getter. And I think the three most obvious ways for this particular writing assignment is to ask an important question, make a startling statement, or use a quotation. I'm guessing that most of you are going to choose the quotation just because we have so much research on our person. But the other two work well. The middle sentence is to just kind of briefly do that segue. You do some background information, but really brief background information, nothing that's going to appear in our body paragraphs. And then the thesis statement is you clearly state the 3 points of your body paragraphs, but try to do it in a creative way. But three things that you kind of have, that you should have, is the background information, what brought that person to make their impact, and then how that impact has changed the world. Okay, so they kind of overlap a little bit. So there's my example on Jane Goodall. It's good, it's not great, it could be better. When you do your first quote though, if you do it, this stands for quoted in, so you can follow my format exactly with the dash. I didn't even get to that lesson, but that's the correct format. And TED Talk is that source where that quote came from. And it'll be listed in my works cited page, which is tomorrow. We'll finish that up. Your conclusion then, you also restate your thesis, but do so in a creative way. Just regurgitating the thesis is boring. As a reader, I get insulted by that because you've already, if you tell me with those exact words and then you repeat it in those exact words, I just think what a waste of space. And then the most important job of a conclusion in any paper is to add that sense of finality, tone. You are done with writing the paper. There's nothing more to say on your topic, and it's that takes practice. Again, my conclusion is good. It's not great, but it's good. You can use it as a baseline for your example. Other things that I would say for formal writing, and I've been giving people a lot of feedback on this with their writing. Please no personal first person, second person, personal pronouns. You shouldn't say like, I think that, or you should know that, or even I'm going to tell you that. That is such an elementary way of writing. And you're going to hear that throughout your high school career. My son taught me a nice trick with this. If you think you might have a lot of I's in there, if you do a Command F and you can type in the word I have 86 examples of I in my paper. And granted, a lot of the times it's within a word, but it really is a smart thing to do just to kind of cruise through your writing to make sure that you don't have I as just a standalone pronoun. The other thing is very and thing are useless words, so I would use the same tactic. I would do it. Command F is how I pulled that up. I would type in the word very. Now the problem with the word very is if you're very smart, then brilliant. If you're very I can't even think of an example right now, but you know what I mean? A very in front of any adjective, there's a better word for it. Thing is also a useless word. I don't think you should be using it in high school academic writing. Contractions should not be used. What a contraction is when you have like shouldn't, doesn't, that sort of thing. Doesn't. You can use does not. That's acceptable. So you can just remove the apostrophe and write out both words. It's just something you need to know in academic writing. Contractions are avoided. Lastly, when you are writing about your people, whether it's Jane Goodall or Mark Zuckerberg or Helen Keller, make sure you refer to the person by their last name. You would never refer to I would never refer to Jane Goodall as Jane in my paper. That's informal. That's saved for people that know each other on a first name basis. So you'll notice whenever I don't always use the name Jane Goodall, but when I want to use just one name for her, I use a Goodall. All right, so those are some reminders with your academic writing. The other thing I wanted to talk about Please, please, please make a meeting with me, an appointment with me if you want some one-on-one help. I have been doing more of these this past week than I have in the entire 6 weeks of distant learning that we've had, and that is amazing. And if the times that I've listed don't work for you, say you work till like 3, 4 o'clock and you can't do it till 6 or 7 at night, by all means, I am open. Just shoot me an email that you'd like to do a Zoom meeting, and usually I can do it on the fly. I've been doing this week, as we get closer and closer to graduation, I might have family things kicking in, but I'm here to help you. And then the final thing, not sure if I talked about this yesterday, and my ninth graders had a lot of questions, so I want to talk about the pass no credit. I've had, I think about 2 of you from each hour opt in, and I think it makes perfect sense. If distant learning has been a struggle for you, if you're not happy with your grade, if the letter grade you have right now will lower your GPA, and you just want to earn the credit for the class, you want to click into and opt in. And what that means is that you will, if you get 60% or higher, you earn the credit for the course. 60% or less, you get no credit. You don't get, it's not an F, it won't hurt your GPA, but you just don't earn the credit. So all of your teachers should have shared this with you, and there should be a form like this in all of your classes. You can opt in to just math and get grades for the rest of your classes, or you can opt in for all of them. So some people were thinking they had to decide for all, if they did it for one class, they had to do it for all. Nope, it's a case-by-case basis. And if you have questions on that, feel free to email me or make an appointment. All right. Have a great day, 10th grade. I will see you again tomorrow.